Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to episode number 1. I was kind of hoping you were going to come in on harmony on that, but we need to prepare it.
I'm glued to my computer screen right now, making sure the whole thing doesn't implode.
Well, that's probably more important than the harmony on my my theme song. God, we've done 2 episodes, and so far I'm just apparently like to sing everything.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You're
What's
a singer,
funny,
after all.
Yeah, but what's funny about that is, so our favorite podcast, possibly ever, top 5, is called Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard and Monica. Yeah. I can't remember her last name.
Monica Padman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We've listened to so many hours of this podcast on the road. It's unbelievable.
It's an excellent podcast.
You should totally check it out. And it seems like Dax is always singing, but he doesn't sing very well.
He dad sings. That's what he does, because he sings like, hairband stuff from the 80s in a dad voice. He's absolutely a dad singer.
And yeah, they're real songs, but they're just not, he's not a very good singer. So that's part of the comedy. So I think I'm flipping it.
You're trying to reclaim the podcast singers.
No, I think I'm not doing a very good job still. I just think that I'm making up songs and I'm not sounding good as a professional singer. So it's like Dax, but the opposite.
Aw.
Sorry.
Well, I don't agree, but that's fine. I think you're doing fine.
All right. Well, we'll see as the show goes on. I mean, the real songs will be good. Don't worry. Those songs, when we actually play music, I promise that will be like professional singer status. But anything else, no promises.
Nah. We will do what we can.
Yeah. This is exciting.
Doing? How's it going? It's Sunday.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, we made it. We made it to another Sunday.
Jeez. Can you just slow the weeks down a little bit, please?
I don't know. Things are going now. I think I want to get through the weeks as fast as possible.
That's probably a good point. Let's just move on to 2021 already.
Yeah. We just kind of stop right here.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
glad you're here. Glad you are tuning in. We're going to, like I said, like Ash said, this is a live podcast, but we are also going to try and post it to podcasting things, and we'll put it on YouTube and stuff like that. I mean, it's live on YouTube and stuff, but we've got recordings and stuff we could put up. So we'll see how it goes. It'll evolve, I'm sure, from where we are right now. So.
Absolutely, considering it's show number 1. But you guys know, so we have, of course, we can't just do any regular podcast, because why would we do that? We're Witherword. We have to make things extra complicated. So we're doing a live podcast that you guys are watching right now, are people who we're talking to online. Hi, love you guys. Thanks for being here. And then afterwards, we're going to post it as an audio, like a podcast. We will have the video replay on YouTube and Facebook and everything. Yep. But if you want to be really podcasty about it, you can check us out on Spotify. And do we even know where else it's going, the replay?
Nope, I have no idea yet.
Okay.
But hopefully it'll be in as many places as we can put it.
Exactly. Like, basically, our system is just throw it out there to literally every place we possibly can and just see what happens.
Yep.
So it's already, like, we started off live streaming. A lot of you already know this. We started off live streaming when the pandemic hit because Ed and I couldn't be in the same room and we just wanted to perform music together. We pieced this thing together from different states and different locations in a very interesting way, which we will explain a little bit later. But that being said, we've been doing it for so long, and so many of our loyal people who are watching right now, we love you and we thank you, have seen us through this journey. And the thing is, it's always been a big dream of ours. I mean, we've talked about starting a podcast for hours upon hours upon hours.
We have.
Yeah. And I mean, as far as like, we've made outlines for it. We've discussed who we wanted on the show, which is exciting that Steve Goody and Abrin are our first guests, because you guys were totally on the list from the get-go. And we talked about like, what would we do? How would it come about? And now it's morphed into, our live streams have morphed into an actual real podcast, and it feels so good to actually be doing it. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's really neat, especially now that, you know, we have a little bit of we have a way to kind of make it interesting and still do it to, you know, a hopefully high standard, which is kind of fun. With all good audio gear and good broadcast equipment. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah. Which, like I said, we will get into a little bit in the show today on exactly how we're doing this. Is going to be one of our segments. But there will still be music. There will still be off-the-cuff chatter about whatever we feel like talking about in the moment. This isn't... We do have planned segments, but it's not exactly scripted. So
yeah.
It's a live podcast.
It's retro scripted. So
oh, I like that.
So
anything could happen.
True enough.
That said, Ed, would you like to play our first song of the day?
Yeah, let's do that. I was just again, I'm glued to the screen.
Right. So I just get to sit here and talk to you guys while Ed handles literally everything else. So there's a lot going on in order to make this happen, including actually recording this segment, including our guest features, including the audio, which is separate from the video that we're running.
Yeah, we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah.
But we wanted to, you know, we wanted to keep it live, but yeah, there's a lot of pieces. We've only, when we did our live streams before, we would typically just have the one scene where you know, it's the one you've been watching mostly here, where it's Ash and I, and then your chat and everything. But now we've incorporated a lot of different other scenes, so I'm trying to kind of man the camera switches and everything. That's kind of fun, but it's also a little crazy. So.
Yep. But whatever. The best things in life are a little bit crazy, if you ask me.
True enough. All right.
So we are going to get to a little request segment later on in the show, but until then, we do have songs planned for you. That's the other crazy thing. We actually have songs planned now versus, what do you want to play? I don't know. What do you want to play?
And I actually wrote the set list.
That's amazing in itself. That I don't think that's happened in like 4 years.
No, I don't think it has either.
I'm proud of you, Ed.
Yay!
So here's a song Ed wrote and I helped with a little bit off of our album called The Anchor, and the song is called Deaf, Dumb, and Blind.
loved you, but now it's all gone wrong. The image I cultivated from your sweet siren song. You never said as such, but I advanced too much. I do confess we could have had something so strong. You must be deaf, dumb, and blind, deaf, dumb, and blind, deaf, dumb, and blind, deaf, dumb, and blind. Speak up, speak up, speak up, speak up, speak up, 'cause I can hardly hear over the sound of your madness. You cannot see what is to be, but you're telling me what's going down. My dear, thou doth protest a bit too much, I guess. Your mouth is open, but I can't hear a word that's coming out. You must be deaf, dumb, and blind, deaf, dumb, and deaf, dumb, and blind, deaf, dumb, and blind, deaf, dumb, and blind. You've got your sanctimony, you've got your cross to bear, you've got your acrimony, I've got a heart that cares. A heart that cares too much to let you go. It twists and turns at night, but you would never know. So I can find myself to visions of a world where you and I give it a whirl. You must be so in love with me, so in love with me. We'll be together in sunny weather. There is no reason we can't live forever. The walls that pad this room are nice and thick, and the jacket's warm too. The dreams I have of you are good and bad, even though we are through. I've never seen a love so vivid in spite of the fact that it never, ever once existed at all. What remains of this brain creates a victory hall. I've got my golden palace suspended in the air. I've got my sweet delusion. You will be waiting there. Yay.
All right.
That's Deaf, Dumb, and Blind. Which, as Ash said, is on the Anchor. It's also on Vulnerable as an acoustic-ish version.
Oh, yeah. I always forget about that.
Yeah, because we redid it. and the newer one is arguably a lot better. Maybe inarguably a lot better.
Well, I just think there's more parts to it, and I remember having so much fun recording the background harmonies in particular on that one.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I was like, think evil Disney princesses. Which is so funny because that's like become such a staple trick of mine in the studio now. Like, especially now that I'm recording all these demos from home, I swear I put the evil Disney princesses in every song. They're always there.
Nice.
I'm like, are people sick of this? Because I am not. Just gonna keep
Awesome.
doing it.
Yeah, I would just keep doing it until someone asks you not to, and then do it 2 more times after that.
Right. I was gonna say I don't think that's gonna stop me.
Exactly.
Gotta love those trolls, those internet trolls. I got one yesterday. I got an internet troll yesterday.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but I like that I'm at a point in my life where I just think it's funny. That's why I was thinking laugh, because I got it. It was on BandLab. I posted a song called White Noise, which I had done. I think I talked to you about this already, Ed, where I did like a mouth percussion thing on it. So it was so it was the first time I've ever done that. So it was completely a cappella, and I did a 2 different mouth percussion parts, a bass, and I think a 3-part harmony on the lead, kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. And then some additional stuff going on. And I mean, it's a little weird, but I think it's cool. And so I posted it just on BandLab, and I should share it some other places too. But everyone was really complimentary and like, oh, that was your first time. Good job. And then this one guy, all it says is, this sucks.
Good grief.
Yeah, so it made me laugh, and I responded, and I was like, thank you for spreading your joy, LOL.
Nice.
Take that.
Well done.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
This sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There you go. Everybody's got an opinion, of course.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
It makes me feel bad for the one time I commented on this lady's YouTube video and I didn't like her ab workout.
Her ab workout?
Yeah.
Did you tell her that?
Yeah, I did. I commented. I was like, this isn't a very good workout. I feel like we're just watching you in your living room sit around.
Okay, well then I guess you deserved it.
I do. I wish I knew what video it was so I could take it down. It haunts me.
I know it does. I know that kind of stuff haunts you.
Well, why did I just not do it in the first place?
I don't know. You just
Okay, well, I feel like now is a good time to move on to our show and tell portion.
Yay! I'll go first.
Okay.
Because I've yours is a little more complicated.
I already forget what your photo was, so I'm gonna have to wait the 4-second.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait 6 whole seconds, or I think 5 seconds. So I will switch to my photo. Where is it? There it is. Bing. Ah. Lovely Morro Bay,
I need 3 more seconds.
California.
Oh wait, no, I remember it now. Oh,
Yeah,
there it is.
it
There
was
it is.
yeah. I think this was back in 2017. I took this, and that was back when everyone was using that cool painting app that turns a photo into a painting. So I went down to I think it's Morro Strand. Is that the one where you have to like turn to that weird driveway and that little weird parking lot?
I think so.
Where we filmed Hand of Fate.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I went to I frequently, if I'm in Morro Bay, I'll go to Morro Strand Beach. That's a real I really like that area. It's just like 3 or 4 miles down the road from the town. And I really like it. It's you've got the iconic Morro Rock, and you can see kind of the three chimneys in the background, in the distance from their old decommissioned power plant. And there was a kind of a cloudy day, so it was a foggy day, so I think there was fog rolling off of the rock, which happens quite often. But But yeah, I love Morro Bay. It's one of my favorite places. Actually, I guess it is my favorite place. I think I decided.
Did you?
I think I did.
You got
yeah.
on Team Morro Bay?
Huh?
You got on Team Morro Bay?
Yeah. I like it. It's just, me in small towns. I just like small towns.
Yeah.
And that's a small town on the beach is pretty cool. So.
I love it. Ed shared that photo with me before the show, and which I obviously forgot about, and then I remembered again. And I was like, oh, it just makes me so happy every time I see that rock. And
yeah. When you're driving in and you see it, or you see the 3 chimneys,
the stacks, yeah.
and you're like,
You're like, I'm home. That's how I feel.
Oh yeah, Nancy Cayucos is awesome, mainly because of Riddell's.
Riddell's tacos,
Oh.
all the way.
No,
he's singing.
Well, Riddell's, come on. I mean,
It deserves a song.
It deserves a song. If you don't know, Riddell's it's just basically a shack on the corner of the street in Cayucos, California, which is just up the road from Morro Bay, and they do smoked fish tacos, and it's just the best thing you'll ever eat in your life.
Best tacos ever.
Best tacos. And they have their own little sauce that they make, and they put lettuce and celery and apples in it, and it's like, that's so good.
And it's smoked. Did you say that?
Yeah, it's smoked. They
you can
smoke
get shrimp,
shrimp,
albacore,
ahi,
salmon.
Yep, salmon and chicken, which I like. I like the smoked chicken. Yeah,
it is good, but
yeah, it's so
I like
good.
the fish. Seriously, it's like worth the trip alone to Morro Bay. I swear. We're obsessed.
Yeah.
And then you go across the street and they have the brown butter
sugar
cookie
company.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can get a little sample and you can get a little bag of cookies. I'm not really a big sugar cookie person, but
they're
these
really good though.
Are so good.
They're really good. I'm not like that either, but they're amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, we like Morro Bay a little bit. We shot every single music video we've ever shot was from Morro Bay.
In that area, I guess. Yeah.
In that area, yeah. Within 45 minutes of that picture that I just shared with you.
Yeah.
And I remember when that app was like a thing and everyone was sharing photos of places turned into paintings.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a thing, and then it died out fast.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun for a little while.
It's nice to bring it back.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do your first thing first. I think I muted the sound on it, but I just want to do it without sound because I can't remember what you're saying in there. But here's Ashley's first show and tell thingy. Oh, who's that guy?
I don't even know anymore. I remember being really proud of this shot that I got, though, because that sun flare.
Oh, real? Oh, right.
I think I was filming a lot at this time for the songs from a Subaru series before Europe. Before we went to Europe and we got sponsored by Subaru Europe, we had done a whole America series with songs from a Subaru.
That's right.
And it was, and I was just kind of filming little bits and pieces of our tours and releasing them by state. And I think I did like 20 or 25 of them or something.
That's right.
Then before we finally got the Subaru sponsorship. But yeah, I remember just this was in Connecticut and for our Connecticut video. And I remember looking at the sun kind of coming between the thing, and Ed had his little pick out and I pulled my camera out. I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. So, but really the most important part of this little video clip is where he's going. Yes.
If you can see up towards the top, the sign where we are headed to is Sally's Pizza.
Yep.
And this is not your ordinary pizza place.
Nope.
This is in kind of a, I would probably say a mecca of pizza, honestly. And so there's the next part of Ashley's show and tell.
So basically, we had my mom is from New Haven, Connecticut. And she would always go on and on and on about Sally's Pizza and Pepe's Pizza when we were kids and how good it was. And I think we went once when we were kids because I lived in Massachusetts throughout my childhood before I moved to Arizona when I was 11. And I heard about it a lot. And that's my mom's childhood friend, that photo there, Lynn Drazen, and her son Josh in the back there. And so when we had picked up a show in New Haven, which was a super exciting part of the tour because I was like, oh, I get to go to my mom's hometown. How cool is that? I went to my dad's hometown too in that same tour, which is
right.
Yeah, it was also in Connecticut. And I went on this like epic journey to find his farm, which we're still not really sure if we found or not. But but we did. I told him, I'm like, listen, because Ed's like the biggest pizza fan ever.
Yeah, I like pizza a lot. And that was when I was doing the impromptu pizza world tour.
I think you're perpetually on the World Pizza Tour.
I am.
So it kind of became a thing of ours to go try all the pizza wherever we are and like, what's the best pizza? And we have a list going.
Yep.
And I believe like 2 of the top 5 are in New Haven, Connecticut, because of course we get to New Haven and we go to Sally's with my mom's childhood friend, and then we have to go to the other ones, of course, too, and try those. And they really are in a league of their own. I mean, the pizza there is absolutely ridiculous. And if you look up the best pizza in America, it will be either Pepe's or Sally's. They're like right around the corner from each other. So it was pretty exciting that we got to go try it, and we were like, yeah, she's right. It is the best pizza.
Yeah, we need to publish that list at some point, Auburn. I think 5 Points is on there.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure we put 5 Points on there.
I think so. It's pretty good pizza there. Which we met Auburn at one time.
Huh? Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I remember that. And the fun part about their pizza is just like you can see kind of in the pizza in the foreground, they just kind of cut it haphazardly. Like the pieces can be any shape you want. I mean, it's a gigantic pizza, but
that's
there's
kind of their
no,
thing.
like,
They just go boop bop that.
Yeah, and then it's
they make
done.
that sound effect too.
Wait, what for sound effect again?
Boop, bop, I don't know. Had a lot of coffee today.
So yeah, those 2 places, I mean, we went to both and they were just amazing. And I remember what spurred it though, because your cousin Ike basically threatened us if we didn't go to Pepe's and send him back something.
Sounds like something you would do.
And so he said, go to Pepe's and send me one. And we're like, I don't know if we could do that, but we'll go.
And we did not send him a pizza.
No.
Across the country.
Across the country back to wherever. He was in San Francisco, I think, at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So.
But we did go. And then when we got back, Ed sent my mom a mug and a hat.
From Pepe's.
From Pepe's. And she recently accidentally broke her mug, by the way. And she was like devastated.
Aww.
Like legit devastated. So we got to get her another one.
Polly's 24-inch?
Where's that?
I don't know where that is. Yeah, where is that, Frank? Because we need to know for science.
Well, Frank and Janice know a thing or two about
oh yeah, they're up that
Connecticut pizza.
They were up that way.
New Haven in particular. We have there's one place that Stephanie Groot, she's on my phone, Stephanie Hershey. She introduced us to in Chicago.
Mundelein, Illinois.
Right.
Yeah.
In Mundelein, Illinois. Yeah. Yeah, it's called Bill's, right?
Yeah, it's just a bar. It's a bar. They have a little takeaway pizza add-on, but it's a bar, and it is my favorite pizza ever.
It's your number one?
It's my number one. It's still my number one. Like
Wow.
it's
thin
that
crust,
stuff's
right?
incredible. Yeah, they don't do a I think they might do a deep dish, but that's not the one you want to get. You want to get the thin
Which is not what you think when you go to Chicago, because you're like, got to get the deep dish.
Mm-hmm.
But we went to Bill's, and they had a really, really, really good thin crust pizza.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it's so good. Coincidentally enough, the best Chicago style pizza I think that I've had, I don't know about you, Ash, but I think the one I've had was in Alameda, California.
Yes, that's on our list.
That is on our list. Star Pizza in Alameda, California. Our your wonderful cousins Art and Carol took us there because they're Chicago folk, and they're like, this place is amazing. So we're like, wow, okay, if you guys say it's amazing, then it must be.
and my cousin Seth, who lives in Chicago and runs a food page on Instagram, is like, no, this place. I think they have another location somewhere.
Yeah, that's probably somewhere in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Oh, that's in Scottsdale. Oh, okay.
Star Pizza?
No, Polly's.
Oh, how
I didn't know that.
interesting. Well, there you go, Ed.
Sweet.
That's something you can do.
Yeah.
The World Pizza Tour continues.
Next stop, Scottsdale, Arizona. Awesome. That's fun. Yeah, fun show and tell. I really liked those pizza places.
Yeah. It's funny, too, that we both picked a photo from 2017, because I think mine is from 2017 also.
Yeah, it is.
So the deal is every week, we send each other a photo ahead of time so we can kind of just, take a look at it.
Pulled from our camera rolls.
Yeah. Yeah. So last week we both pulled one from our Europe trip. And then this
2018 trip, I think.
Yeah. And then this time we both pulled one from 2017. So I'm sure next week we'll have a similar accidental theme as well.
Probably.
We'll see. All right. We're going to do another song for you guys.
Okay. Let me get this guy here. How's it sound, everybody? Sound all right? I know I'll have to wait like 10 seconds before people respond.
So since Ed wrote our set list today, he picked out the song, and it's actually a song I sing from the Cranberries, which is the Cranberries. I used to listen to their album, I believe it was called No Need to Argue, on repeat in my bedroom in high school. Very angsty like. And in fact, I loved it so much that I bought the book and that had the guitar tabs, and a lot of their music is fairly simple to play, actually, like chord wise. So I was able to learn a lot of their music, and this one in particular is very simple chord structure, but I think it's a beautiful song. And I it's been a long time since I had done it, and then I pulled it out again some months ago, and Ed and I had been performing it live, and it's just kind of fun to play. So
Cool.
Oh, good. I'm glad it sounds good. So this is called Dreaming My Dreams.
Change my
be dreaming my dreams with you. I'll be dreaming my dreams with you. And there's no other place that I'd lay down my face, dreaming my dreams of It's out there, it's out there, it's out there if you want me, I'll be here. It's out there, it's out there, it's out there if you want me, I'll be I'll be dreaming my dreams with you. I'll be dreaming my dreams with you. And there's no other place that I lay down my face, dreaming my dreams with you. I'll be dreaming my dreams with you. I'll be dreaming my dreams with you. And there's no other place that I'd lay down my face, dreaming my dreams
Nice.
It's Dreaming My Dreams by the Cranberries.
Yeah, I like that song.
Yeah, it's cool. It's interesting, too, that there's only one verse,
Yeah.
you know? I like songs that do that, and you don't even really notice it until you... Well, I didn't notice it until I learned it. And I was like, there's one verse in this song. All right.
And like one, and mostly one chord progression. You know,
Yeah.
mostly one chord progression. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that Ed's playing bass again, too.
Aww. Thanks.
Well, you guys, this is a very exciting moment because it's time to move on to our first guest.
Yay.
Woo! Which, by the way, our guest appearances, as of now, are not going to be live because we don't quite have that sorted out yet.
Yeah, I'm like 90% of the way there.
We're hoping we can get Auburn on next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, I'd
she
like
said
to do
she's available, by the way, Ed.
Oh, okay,
I
cool.
forgot to tell you I
I'll
talked
get
to
in
her.
touch with her then.
She's watching right now. In
once
fact.
I figure out what the heck we're gonna do, then
Right.
I'll get in touch with her.
If we need to abort we'll let you know. We'll have, but we did ask, and also so this is a storyteller podcast. You know, Ed and I spent 5 or 6 years on permanent tour, so we have a lot of stories, and so we decided to share stories from our experiences on the road, as well as some kind of tips and tricks, which we'll get to in a little bit. And also we were like, well, we're not the only people that tour, so we wanted to bring on some of our friends to tell some of their stories as well. And we didn't want to just limit it to stories from the road. Like, okay, you know what, just come on of musicians that we know are amazing and have amazing stories to tell. That is who we invited on this show. So whoever is on, I can guarantee you, is going to be awesome. And it's we just asked them to share something musical from their journey in music. And this week, the very first one turned out to be very different than we had anticipated, which is fantastic, because we have invited our musical comedy friend Steve Goody to do a segment on the show. We like that it's a pre-recorded thing as well, because it really gives the artist a chance to tell their story the way that live can be, especially if you have a really good story that you really just want to get out perfect. We like that we're giving someone a chance to pre-record it, have multiple chances to get it out the way that they want to get it out, and then we'll play it. Hopefully we'll be able to have a Q&A with them afterwards as well.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. And then maybe play a song of theirs too if there's time. But today, Steve Goody is our very first feature, and he said, well, I already have this thing pre-recorded. It's a little skit that I perform with my brother, and you might know it. And it's not an original skit, but they do it together brilliantly. And he said, would you like to use that? And I said, sure. So that is what we are going to
About 2 years ago at this time, I was driving across South Dakota from one show to another. Very excited because at the end of May 2018, we were having birthday parties for both my father and my mother in the Chicago area. And both of them are with us. Say hi.
Hi.
Yeah. Way back when Adam, my brother, and I were kids, we learned the whole script of Who's on First out of Mad Magazine. Who likes Mad Magazine?
Oh, yeah.
Right. All kinds of cartoons and satire, and they would print out the exact transcript of famous comedy sketches. And our favorite was Who's on First, Abbott and Costello. When we memorized it, we're two little kids, neither of our voices had changed. I'm sure when we did it, it was pathetically adorable. And we would beg the family, can we do Who's on First for everybody for Passover or for Thanksgiving? And everybody would say, sure, that's fine. And I'm sure it was a disaster. And then a couple years later, we got a little better at it and a little better at it till the family would request it. They'd say, hey guys, you want to do Who's on First? And we'd say, no, because kids, they're always there for you. So fast forward about 36 years, I'm driving across South Dakota and I call my brother who's at work. He's a professor of psychology at the University of Georgia, Athens. And he's at his desk and I call him up and say, hey, what do you say we relearn Who's on First for the folks? We haven't done it in over 3 decades. He said, sounds great. I'll call it up on my computer now. Beats working at this job where I don't actually do anything. That may not be what he said. That's what I heard. Anyway, so he gets the script in front of him and we're practicing. I'm driving 80 miles an hour across South Dakota. He's at his desk, not doing anything. And thank you, T-Mobile, for the 5-second delay. Doesn't hurt the comedy at all. Driving, practice, driving. Then we get to Chicago a couple weeks later and we do it for the folks. And we didn't do it perfectly, but we did it pretty well. And it made the folks cry.
Aww.
And that's what you want with classic comedy. So then we were done with that. And I thought, it's just a shame to have done all that work just to do it once. So then I had a brilliant idea because I'm on the road doing shows. I said, what if I get my brother, what if we get a satellite link up wherever he is? Because I've got the TV and the computer. We can probably manage this. It's the year 2019. We have this technology, or 2018. We could do this. So I am pleased to say we managed it, and we're going to do it again tonight.
Hey.
Now, here's the part where I lie to you. Pretend I'm telling the truth. It's not like he's in quarantine in Georgia and can't go anywhere. No, he's at a conference in New York. So let's see if we can get him on the big satellite. Adam, are you there? Can we? Holy cow!
Hi, Steve. Hi, everybody.
Wow, it's my
Can you hear
brother.
me okay?
Yes, that's a very good. You're a little loud,
Good.
actually. Wow.
Nice to be here in,
New York, you dummy. Look,
right, home of the...
Yankees, stupid.
That's right.
You want to do our sketch?
Absolutely.
All right. Did you bring your hat? You got your hat? Oh, you do. All right. Would you like to go first?
Absolutely. Well, Costello, I'm going to New York with you. You know, Bucky Harris, the Yanks manager, He gave me a job as coach for as long as you're on the team.
Well, look, Abbott, if you're the coach, you must know all the players.
Oh, I certainly do.
Well, I never met the guys, so you'll have to tell me their names, and then I'll know who's playing on the team.
I'll tell you their names, but they give these ball players these days some pretty peculiar names.
You mean funny names?
Strange names. Pet names like Dizzy Dean.
And his brother, Daffy.
Daffy Dean.
And their French cousin.
French?
Gouffet.
Gouffet Dean, I see. Let's see, we got on the bags, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know is on third.
That's what I'm trying to find out.
I say who's on first, what's on second, I don't know is on third.
Are you the manager?
Yes.
You going to be the coach too?
Yes.
Do you know the fellas' names?
Well, I should.
Then who's on first?
That's right.
I mean, the guy's name on first base.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who?
The guy playing first.
Who's playing first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
That's his.
That's whose.
Yes.
Look, if you're first baseman,
Sure.
then who's on first?
That's right.
Look, when you pay off the first baseman every month, who gets the money?
Every dollar of it.
Look, all I'm trying to find out is the guy's name on first base.
Who?
The guy that gets the money.
That's it.
Who gets the money on first?
He does. Every dollar. Sometimes his wife comes down and collects it.
Whose wife?
Yes. What's wrong with that?
Look, all I'm trying to find out is when you signed up the first baseman, how did he sign his name to the contract?
Who?
The guy.
Who?
How did he sign his name?
That's how he signs it.
Who?
Yes.
Look, all I'm trying to find out is what's the guy's name on first base?
Now, what's on second base?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
One base at a time.
Don't change the players
I'm
around.
not changing nobody. I'm just.
Take it easy, buddy.
Who's playing first base?
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, what's the guy's name on first base?
What's on second
I'm not
base?
asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Well, he's on third. We're not talking about him.
How did I get on third base?
I mentioned his name.
If I mentioned the third baseman's name, who did I say is playing third?
Now, who's playing first?
What's on first?
What's on second?
I don't know.
He's on third.
There I go, back on third again. Now, will you stay on third base and
All right,
don't go
now,
off?
what do you want to know?
Who's playing third base?
Why do you insist on putting who on third base?
What am I putting on third?
What's on second?
You don't want who on second?
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Third base.
Look, you got outfield. The left fielder's name.
Why?
I just thought I'd ask.
I just thought I'd tell you.
Tell me who's playing left field.
Who's playing first?
I'm not. Stay out of the infield. I want to know what's the guy's name in left field.
What's on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know. Third base. The left fielder's name?
Why?
Because.
Oh, that's our center fielder.
I mean, just. You got a pitcher on this team?
Sure.
The pitcher's name.
Tomorrow.
You don't want to tell me today?
I'm telling you, man.
Go ahead.
Tomorrow.
What time?
What time what?
What time tomorrow are you going to tell me who's pitching?
Now look, who is not pitching? Who
I'll
is...
break your arm. You say who's on first. I want to know what's the pitcher's name.
What's on second?
I don't know. Third
base.
Have you got a catcher?
Sure.
The catcher's name.
Today.
Today.
And
tomorrow's pitching.
That's right.
All we got is a couple of days on this team. You know, I'm a catcher too. I get behind the plate, do some fancy catching. Tomorrow's pitching on my team, and a heavy hitter gets up. Now, the heavy hitter bunts the ball. When he bunts the ball, me being a good catcher, I want to throw the guy out at first. So I pick up the ball, and I throw it to who?
That's the first thing you said right.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's all you have to do.
It's to throw the ball to first base.
That's right.
Now, who's got it?
Naturally.
Look, if I throw the ball to first base, someone's got to get it. Who has it?
Naturally.
Who?
Naturally.
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 So I pick up the ball, and I throw it to naturally.
No, you don't. You throw it to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
That's what I said.
You're not saying that.
I throw the ball to naturally.
Don't. You throw it to who?
Naturally.
Listen, you ask me.
I throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
Now you ask me.
You throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
Same as you. Look, I throw the ball to first. Whoever it is drops the ball. The guy runs to second. Who picks up the ball, throws it to what? What throws it to? I don't know. I don't know. Throws it back to tomorrow. Triple play. Another guy gets up, hits a long fly ball to because. Why? I don't know. He's on third, and I don't give a darn.
What was that?
I said I don't give a darn.
Oh, that's our shortstop.
Thank you very much.
Good job, guys.
Professor Adam Goody, everybody.
I remember that.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Steve.
Here's fun fact. As you know, that wasn't a satellite thing. That was pre-recorded. I called up my brother and I said, hey, what do you say I come down to Georgia with a video camera and we shoot your part of it in front of a green screen? And he said, that sounds stupid. And I said, I'm coming down there. He said, don't come down here. So I went down there with the video camera. And
So I went down there.
we did 26 takes of it. That was take 26. And I said, we got to do one more. And he said, get out of my house. So that was that.
All right. What do you guys think of that? That sketch never gets old.
Yeah.
And Steve and his brother did an incredible job on it. Like, that is not an easy sketch to do.
And in case you didn't pick up on it, Steve's brother was pre-recorded, and Steve plays the recording and then banters off of him live.
Yeah.
And then it was a recording of that.
Recording of a live show of a recording with a recording.
His timing is pretty amazing. So check out Steve Goody. We're going to put all of his links in the show description, which you can find at crimesagainstfolk.com. And for a little bonus feature today, we are also going to play for you one of Steve's
Dum diddy dum, why we gotta be dumb? Too soon. It's much too soon. Some folks refuse to stay home. Don't wanna stay indoors no more. Quarantine is too hard. Wanna go bowling and get my hair done. They say it's all overblown. Dum de dum de dum dum. Is it gone? Is it gone? Dang, it ain't gone, but out they all run. Too soon. They go out in defiance against all reason and science. So proud of their non-compliance. Weeks of quarantine, now they all want haircuts. Screaming hoax, bearing arms, they're protesting. And not distancing. Then there's the Trump team. Oy vey, holy crap. They're nuts. Trying to sell hydroxychloroquine. Much too soon. Virus is still multiplying. They don't mind grandma dying, but I still kinda like mine. Dum, open up, we need to buy stuff, and we listen to Trump too soon. And when the cases start spiking, they'll say, sorry, we didn't understand. But pandemics with an exponential rate of transmission should not be taken lightly. Was it worth that trip to Disneyland? Dum, want some fun, we gotta have fun, good lord, are we dumb? Too soon, you refuse isolation, and you fear vaccination. I will plan your cremation. Dum, is it gone? Dang, it ain't gone. Want some fun, we gotta have fun. Open up, second wave coming up. We need to buy stuff, and we listen to Trump, or even if we don't, we gotta go out and earnestly protest the egregious and ongoing racial bias in law enforcement and in society in general, which is commendable to protest, but we still need to be careful and stop confusing peaceful protesters with rioters and looters who should also wear masks. Actually, they should just stay home and not riot and loot, but in any case, too soon.
All right. Let me switch back.
Yeah, please.
Hope you guys enjoyed that.
Feel free to find this video and share it to your own pages if you enjoyed it, because he has so many. I actually did a video with Steve called "Don't Be a Dick."
Oh yeah, you
We
did
wrote
a
a
couple
song.
versions of that.
Yeah,
Didn't you?
yeah, and we made a music video right when the everyone went into quarantine, and I think it's pretty funny. We got some people involved in it, so but you should definitely share Steve's stuff. He's funny. He's very, very funny.
Yeah, I'm throwing this in the link in the chat right now.
Awesome.
So, but yeah, please. He's just brilliant. He's a brilliant musician. I mean, he does. I mean, you worked with him a lot.
Yeah, he plays drums, bass, guitar, and piano.
Yeah,
So.
and he's got an excellent ear as an audio engineer. I mean, I've heard some of the stuff he does. He's very, very good. right.
So that is Steve Goody.
That's Steve Goody.
Yay.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Make sure to check him out. Put his name there so people know
Okay.
how it's spelled. I think I spelled it right. Yep.
And now we are moving on to our request segment.
Cool.
And we had a request. So we're going to do 2 requests per show. Last week, someone requested a song that we didn't have time for. So we're using one of the 2 slots today to do that one. But if there's anything you guys want to hear, we only have time for one. So we'll grant the one we feel like doing the most. So feel free to throw your request out there. We'll do the one. And if we can't get to, if we see something in there that we would like to do, then we'll put it in the next show, kind of a thing. Because unfortunately, we don't have time for them all. There's not enough time for the music. But this is off of our newest album. This is a song Ed and I wrote together and means a lot to us. I can't remember who requested it. I think it might have been Alice, but I'm not positive. And we haven't done this in a bit, so this will be fun to do.
Yeah, this was one we did when we were doing the we did the live stream of our songwriting thing.
Yep. Yeah, we did it. We wrote the song. It was songs in an hour. What were something? Songbird sessions. I can't remember what we called it.
Yep.
We were challenging ourselves to see if we could write a song in under an hour. In fact, we wrote 3. So this is not in an hour, 3 different times. This is the first one we did, and we loved it. So it's went on our latest album, which is called Human Album, and the song is called Sleeping with Shadows.
All right. Whoops. Hopefully I'm on the right percent. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I wish I believed like you wanted me to. I don't know anything, but I'm glad that you do. Your chariot awaits, but is it real enough for you? Everything is quiet. Everything is fine. It's all going like you rehearsed in your mind. I don't know where you're going, but everything is fine. You're sleeping with shadows tonight. How do you deal with the shame of the truth? That praying isn't something that feels right to you. You go through the motions 'cause it's just what you do. Everything is sacred. Everything is true. If you grew up with it, you'd believe it too. But the questions still linger until the morning light. You're sleeping with shadows tonight.
But what if we believed in everything you sold? We'd live in candy castles on clouds made of gold. The loved ones we've lost are waiting there for us. Yes, wouldn't that be fine to suddenly change my mind?
Everything is perfect. Everything is wrong. Everything is just as it had been all along. I don't know where you're going, but everything is right. You're sleeping with shadows tonight. I don't know where I'm going, but everything is fine. We're sleeping with shadows tonight. That is called Sleeping with Shadows. All right. Ed, do you remember how to do Close My Eyes? It's been probably 3 years since we've played that song. Although that is still, it's one of my favorite productions we've done. I listened to it recently in the car on my way somewhere. And I
really?
was like in tears at the end of it. I just think it's such a beautiful production and song. Ed wrote it, and it went on our EP called Clockwork Heart. And I don't know what it is. It's just, I think it's the visuals that I see when that production, when I hear the full production, is just kind of unreal. It's just really beautiful.
Oh, I think I could just have to bring up the lyrics here.
Is it in the lyric book?
Yeah, in the lyric book.
I would like to hear this song. I forgot about it until I heard it in the car, and then I forgot about it again until just now.
That's funny. Where did I had it before? Oh, you know what? It might be here.
Ed has like 17 windows open, and now he's opening another one.
So many windows. That was Clockwork Heart, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Do I have lyrics for that? I do. So I'm glad I put the lyrics up on Bandcamp.
Oh, yeah.
So I can see them.
It should be in our lyric book. I think
Yeah,
he just needs to find it.
Yeah, my lyric book is being a jerk.
I have like an actual lyric book that I need to just keep so I can reference it. In fact,
You have a
I'm gonna
physical
go
one?
get it. Yeah, I'm gonna go get it. You can start the song if you pull it up, because I don't come in until the first chorus anyway.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I'll be right
I
back.
got it. Okay, let's give this a go. I can remember all this. All right. I pick up the phone for the call, but I seem to have misplaced your number. Lost where the memories crawl under to die. My chariot races to save me, but I seem to have drawn some irony. Several events have conspired to be almost comical. So I'll leave you a message with calling back digits, and my fingers they fidget as I wait more and more. I'm feeling a bit out of phase, and the silence is most distressing, especially to the one who's undressing in my mind. And I've seen it all and imagined much more. There's no repentance for a lifetime just fall asleep? Can I just close my eyes without pretending that you're me? Phonograph recordings erased from the Ministry of the Interior, saying they were an inferior record of past tense events. Heroes are born out of fire through considerable testing in laboratories where fortune and failure are allegory for the facts of life. And I should be lucky, and I should be grateful, and I should be silent, and I should be you. Can I just close my eyes? Can I just fall asleep? Can I just close my eyes without pretending that you're me? I hear what you're saying, but open your eyes. You're dashing your man wears a feeble disguise. He knows not his heart, and he knows not his mind, and he trusts neither one, for they both feed him lies. Can I just close my eyes? Can I just fall asleep? Can I just close my eyes without pretending that you're there? Can I just close my eyes without pretending? Without pretending, oh, pretending. I don't want to pretend anymore that you're me, that you're me. Sorry, I hope that wasn't too loud. I tried to back off of the microphone.
It was perfect on my end. Great job, Ed. Wow.
Thanks.
High five.
High five.
That was beautiful.
Thanks.
And you hit all the notes.
I hit all of the notes. I didn't miss any.
I know. That's one of
I
my.
found a couple that weren't there even.
Ooh, that's exciting.
I don't know.
I seriously, that's such a beautiful song that you wrote.
Thanks.
It's so beautiful. The melody in particular. I love singing harmony on it.
Oh yeah, the harmonies you're doing that are really great.
Thank you. Yeah. I know, I forgot the one cool close my eyes and fall.
Oh, that's fine. I like that in the production. I just, that was such a fun part to do in there.
Yeah. We had a really good, that's what I'm saying about the production in particular. We had a really good time putting it together, I think.
For sure.
So I found, I have my little lyric book here. And so
there it is.
Right here. Yeah. And it's, we sold these as part of like a crowdfunding reward when we did the Anchor album. But you know what? We should put it up for sale because I think we have the
I still have the thing.
The digitals, anyway.
The template and everything. And actually, a company here in Phoenix made those books. So
really?
Yeah, because they had the cheapest price at the time. So
okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, we should put them up for sale on our website because I don't know. Maybe you guys want them, maybe you don't, but
we'd have to update them again,
not?
I guess, because we'd have to add the new thingy in.
Don't we have one with the new thingy we did for? I don't know why I'm thinking we have one.
Well, we have an
for the
updated
digitals.
book of lyrics,
Right.
but not. It would have to be like we'd have to put in
Okay.
the just human album because that one has the anchor in it. So
Okay.
but yeah, that's all we'd have to do. So
Well,
think about it.
that's our request segment. So if you guys have any requests for next week, just throw them out there in the chat now. We'll try to write them down and remember to do them.
Yeah.
But we're going to move on to our next segment, which is
Tips and tricks.
Tips and Tricks. I told you I sing everything. It's going to happen.
All right. So this week, we're going to talk a little bit about one of the main components that this entire podcast and our most recent live streaming kind of rests upon. And that is the software called Jamulus. So if you don't know, Jamulus is an open source free software that was created by a guy named Volker Fischer in Aachen, Germany. And he created it as a way for he and his bandmates who had moved out of the city, some was about as far as like 400 or 500 kilometers away, to be able to rehearse together. And so he took a couple of open source codecs, and codecs are a way to basically turn data into another type of data. Sometimes you use it to compress and then decompress stuff as it transmits over the internet. So he used a couple of open source codecs, put together an interface, and mainly that's how he released it out to the world. And it has been around for a while. I know Howard knows about it, and I had certainly seen it. I think when we were trying to do some from home live streaming before the pandemic hit, we had kind of dipped our toe in the water, and but the pandemic kind of necessitated something because again, we we needed something that worked really well. There are a couple of other options out there that are this sort of software. I couldn't get them to work very well. I couldn't get them to work as well as I could get Jamulus to work. And so the main reason we use Jamulus is if you've ever been on a phone call, obviously there is a bit of a delay from when you speak and when the other person answers. I'd say anywhere in the neighborhood of maybe 150 to 200 milliseconds of delay. That's just a guess. And so not really ideal for playing songs together.
Yeah.
That's a lot of delay to kind of wrestle with. And there are so the issue for us, we probably could have used something like what we started live streaming with, which was Discord. And it's a free software. If you've ever used something like Slack or Skype or Microsoft Teams, Discord is very similar to those. It's aimed primarily at gamers, but everybody uses it. So we tried our first few live streams with that, and it was basically songwriters in the round. We had to trade songs. One of us could follow along with the other person who's leading the song, but it's only a one-way thing. So I would be broadcasting, so I could follow along with Ashley, but she could not follow along with me. when we're playing in that situation. We could do it where we kind of flip the stream around, but that would be a lot of work. So Jamulus allows for low latency audio communication. And by low latency, we're talking in the neighborhood anywhere from 30 to 60 milliseconds, which is just enough to make playing music really work well. It helps if you're closer together geographically, and your internet connection can really determine how it's going to go. It's kind of why you hear sometimes there's little warbles in our particular stream. It's just because, the internet connections we're using are not fantastic, but it still works and it still sounds really good. So Jamulus is a great way for people to continue to play music together when they're hundreds of miles apart. And it's kind of fortuitous that we were able to get it for the podcast, because it makes communicating during a podcast kind of perfect. Like whenever Ash and I are talking, it's almost as if we're talking in the same room. What wouldn't you say that, Ash?
Oh yeah, I don't even really notice a difference anymore. It's just become so normal to me now after months. I just feel like I'm in the same room as you.
Yeah, and that's what I notice. I think I remarked to you one time, I wish that I could communicate this way with people instead of on the phone, because I hate talking on the phone so much, and that delay is a big part of it. Mm-hmm. But when we're talking like this, again, we can, it preserves our timing, and so when we're trying to have a conversation, it feels like a conversation. It doesn't feel like a call and response, So
and it's one of the things I hear comments I get when I from musicians in particular, when I post that we're going live, and they're like, "How are you doing that?" That's what everybody wants to know.
Oh,
I tell them, talk to Ed. He'll tell you. I kind of know, but I don't really know.
And it's funny because Jamulus has gotten infinitely more popular in the past few months, obviously, because the word is starting to get around that it works really well. And there are a few caveats that I shouldn't say caveats. There are a few prerequisites, let's call them, to really make it work well. But I remember looking at the download stats for it, and there was 1 week right before the lockdown started, where I think it had, like 70 downloads. It averaged about 70 downloads per week. And then the next week it was like 8,000 downloads per week. And it just started skyrocketing from there. And they have a really good community at the everything's hosted on a website called SourceForge. They have their own little page there. And there's a great community that the developer is a part of. So and there are instances where people have said, "Hey, I have this really weird situation where it doesn't work," and he's like, "Oh, let me see if I can fix that," and he's really addressed it. So I think the fact that it's an open source piece of software means that anybody can contribute to it, anybody can maintain it, and it's so it really it allows us to continue to do our job in a way, like it allows us to play together, and either one of us can lead the song. That's the important part. The important part is we needed a system where either Ash or myself can lead the song, and that's what we have with Jamulus. So if you're in a duo that is separated by distance, or a trio or a band or whatever, and you're looking for something to be able to jam together or to rehearse, or even in our case to live stream, Jamulus is the way to go. So
I didn't even realize that Wi-Fi lag was such a big issue until the pandemic hit. Because we talk to people on the phone. It's just, you
get used to it.
You do, and then I think we tried to stream together on one show, and we're like, well, let's just see. And we tried it, and it was just like 2 notes in. We're like, no, we can't do this. So we ended up just trading off songs instead. And I asked you if you knew of any system that would help us get rid of the Wi-Fi lag, and you said, I think so. And here we are 3 months later still using it.
Yeah, it's been really great. And so there's a couple of other pieces that make this whole setup work. I'm mainly focusing on Jamulus, but we use OBS for the broadcasting. That's Open Broadcaster software. And I also use another piece of software called Loopback, which allows you to route audio from different software applications to other applications, which is not a thing you can normally do in a lot of operating systems. But Mac OS, which is what we both run when we're doing this, has a lot of really flexible audio options. So Jamulus is definitely best on Mac OS. You can use it on Windows, but you need the right hardware. And so that's the thing. If you want to use Jamulus, there are a couple of things you need to be aware of. The first thing is you're going to need some kind of audio interface that makes it easier, that will improve the sound quality. Ashley uses a Focusrite Scarlett Solo. It's got a microphone input and a guitar input.
Do you have my screen up?
Yeah, your screen's up.
This is it right here.
Yeah.
So I've got my microphone plugged in here, my guitar cable plugged in here, and my headphones plugged in here, and there's no room for anything else, and it does exactly what I need it to, and I love it.
It's perfect.
I can record with it as well. This is how I make all my demos.
So that's what Ashley uses.
Drawer.
And it fits in your drawer.
Otherwise, there's no good place for it.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like constantly falling because
That's cute.
Yep.
I wish mine could fit in a drawer. I use a Focusrite Scarlett 18i20, and that is way too much for this podcast, but it's all that I have, really, so that's what I use. And so you'll need some kind of interface. That helps, mainly because when you use an audio interface, you get access to low latency drivers and software, especially in Windows. That's the main thing you'll see it for. You can get away without using an interface in Mac OS. And I don't really know much about Linux, but it does support versions of Linux as well. But so getting an interface, getting a halfway decent mic, and maybe a means to plug in your guitar or bass or keyboard or whatever you use, that's will make your life a lot easier. The other thing that's going to make this go a lot quicker and easier and less difficult is wiring up your computer with Ethernet rather than using Wi-Fi. For some reason, I think it might be the codec, the way that the software is implemented. Jamulus does not play nice with Wi-Fi networks. So if you can get an Ethernet cable, they're pretty cheap, and run it to your cable modem or Wi-Fi router or whatever, you can plug it straight in to the internet connection or to your network, I should say, then you're going to have a lot easier time. That's what both Ashley and I have to do when we get this set up. We have to turn our Wi-Fi off and plug in our Ethernet adapters and cables because our computers are too thin to have Ethernet ports on them. And so that's what we have to do to make this sound as good as it will, because otherwise we'd have dropouts every, let's say, 20 seconds or so. So it's just kind of miserable. So making sure that you have wired Ethernet connection to your router and having an interface to use, those are the two main things that will make Jamulus work the best. So beyond that, it's just a matter of tweaking things until you get them right. We also host our own Jamulus server. When you first boot up the app, You can connect to public servers that are really all over the world. Those are individuals that are hosting their own servers. You can choose not to list your server. That's what we do, basically, so that no one basically drops in and eats our bandwidth and all that stuff. But if you're the kind of person who wants to jam with randos around the world, host your own server and put it on the public list, and people may just drop in. And people may just drop in and you can jam with them. Who knows? That's happening a lot more as the lockdown rages on. So that's kind of another fun thing about it, is that if you want to try and build a community of people who jam in your city, a city is really not that big of an area. So if you have a good internet connection and the people in your city, the randos or the people are connecting, 100 miles, 50 miles, that's not a big deal. 400, 500, 600 miles is starting to get a little far as the latency goes. Anything above 50 milliseconds starts to get a little crazy, but it still works. So, and especially if you're like us and doing a podcast, 50, 60, 70 milliseconds is still better than a phone call. So you are going to, if you just want to, basically, I look at it as a kind of the new wave of ham radio. Like if you want to just talk to somebody across the country with a high quality microphone and have an actual good conversation, then this would be kind of fun. I did that with Howard. Oh
yeah.
He set up his own server and I was testing it and I'm like, man, that sounds like I'm right in the room with him. And he's all the way in Morro Bay. That's got to be 600 miles from Phoenix?
I bet you and Howard would have like the absolute most perfect sound of all possibilities.
Oh, it sounded
with the two
great.
of you working together. Howard's brain works a lot like Ed's, where they just understand this stuff. So
it sounded great.
I'm sure that conversation was easy peasy.
He was using his blue mic just like you're using, and he had his ukulele plugged in and was playing it, and it sounded awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, they're gonna. Ed helped the Rock and Ukes get their system together, and they're hopefully going to be able to go live on some kind of Zoom call or something for a concert themselves, using all of this that Ed is talking to you about right now. So if you're a musician, and FYI, a lot of this tips and tricks segment, this is to give you guys a little behind the scenes of what we do, and also get more musicians interested in our podcast. So if you guys have anyone that you think might benefit from this kind of behind the scenes stuff, please send them our way. We love, as we grow, we're hoping to have some little something for everybody is my point. So hopefully this is going to hopefully this is interesting. I think it's really interesting myself, because I don't totally understand it, but I'm getting there. And if you're a musician and you want to know, feel free to reach out to us, specifically Ed, because he is willing to help you out. I know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm absolutely willing to help and make sure that I could just give expertise, and then you can do what you need to do, because everyone's setup I think is going to be a little different. So that's the fun part. So that's Jamulus. That's one of the main things we use to do this podcast, and it's what we've used into our live streaming. It's starting to become a lot more popular. It's free. It's open source. It's wonderful. It's allowed a lot of us musicians to continue to do what we like to do, which is play music. So I think everyone around the world really should be getting on board with Jamulus and contributing to its development, and just tell a friend about it. That's probably the best thing you can do. Just tell a friend.
Yeah, and I think the more we go along, the easier all of this will be. I mean, I think eventually there's just going to be a button that we're all going to be able to hit and not even have to worry about setting up. We're going to be like, remember when we used to have to do this and that and that and that, and now we just have to go pink. So the more that we all do this stuff, the more that future is looking bright.
Absolutely. That's the exciting part. Yeah, hopefully this is going to spur some people to kind of take the technologies and make them really like
don't think we know where to begin. And we can use it.
Yeah, we know how to use it. We know how to put it all together, but it's, it kind of just depends on, it's tough.
Yeah. But let's wrap this up. We're gonna this segment up anyway. We've got a few more things for you guys, and we've got a Q&A coming up. So if you have any questions, now is a good time to throw it into the chat, and we will scroll through and answer all of your questions. Lore from our travels, official music videos we've done with Howard Ignatius, little videos we've pieced together ourselves, live things from concerts, behind the scenes, so many things. We're going to showcase a different video of Witherword every single week during this segment, and today we chose to feature a new video. So you might have seen it, and by the way, say Ed edited it. Ed edited it. Say that, because I have to say that a lot in my life. I've gotten pretty good at it, but it's hard. Ed edited it. Nope, Ash edited it. And I was pretty proud because I learned how to edit video during the lockdown. So that was a silver lining. But I did this video together. So Stephanie Groot, our violinist, she sent me her part. Ed sent me his part, and my mom helped Jill Gollinger. She filmed this part, my part, and I was able to piece it all together in this little Songs from a Quarantine series for you guys, and it's pretty fun. So we're going to play that for you right now. Okay. The song's called Razor.
1 second. Too many windows. I gotta pull it up again. Sorry, y'all. Just because I had it in there, and then everything something closed on me. Oh yeah, here we go. Here it is. Let me put it in. No, stop. Okay, and then. All right, so
let's give it a whirl. Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make wardrobe malfunctions lots of fun. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3.
Miss me too much. Don't miss me too little. Miss me too much. Don't miss me too little. Miss me too much. Don't miss me too little. Don't miss me too much. Don't miss me too little. Miss me. Too much?
Too much.
Too little. Well, what do you think, folks? That was pretty awesome, right? Like, holy cow.
Thank you, guys.
Tell the people at home how you edited that, or more specifically, what you edited that on.
On my phone. I have issues with computers. Like big computers. Small computers I'm great with. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently.
I don't know why, but yeah, I found this app and I guess we could save this for a tips and tricks segment for another time. So I won't go on about it. You know, maybe we will save it for logging that in the memory bank. But yeah, the app's called Power Director. So I'll tell you guys about it maybe next episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just figured out how to use it through just fiddling around, and I don't know. I tried to do it on the computer and I just couldn't. So I figured out how to do it on my phone. So much easier. And it's a lot of work. I mean, it's a lot of like move this in there and then I'll go to this other app and cut that down and put it back in this app. And then, but you can kind of mix the audio in it too, which I had to do a lot of audio work in that one because my guitar is just so loud, so much louder than my voice naturally. So it's hard to kind of balance that and then get the other two guys in there. So yeah, but it was because I have to edit the 3 videos individually and then put them in, and then I had to film like a 6-minute segment of just the computer sitting there and then throw it in there. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where the idea came from. It's just I think I had just been learning how to put other videos on top of other videos, and I kind of thought of that idea. So I was pretty pleased how that turned out, and I think my mom did a great job with the video directing. I was telling Ed that the dogs who come running up to me in the pool at the very end, which I told my mom, we ran through it once, and I was like, we have one shot to get this because I mean, we probably could have done it again, but it would have taken a while to dry my hair, get the thing back on. So we got it, but I kept trying to like call the dogs over discreetly while we were shooting because I wanted them to appear in the video. And when we were rehearsing it, they were all over me. They were up on the bench with me. They were up on the couch with me. I was like, oh, this is perfect. And I thought when I had sat down on the grass, which I had not planned on doing, but they wouldn't come over. So I was like, maybe if I sit down on the grass, they'll come over then. Nope. But the second I jump in the pool, they hate the pool. That's when they come over. So we have had so many issues with we cannot ever get animals to do what we want them to do in a music video. By the way, there's like a deep history with this.
Yeah, that's just how it goes. It's animals do what they do. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm going to scroll through and see what questions you guys have for us. if you have any requests on what videos you want played, by the way, feel free to throw them out. We'll put them in future episodes.
Alice had a couple here.
Okay.
Let's see. What about songwriting? Are you able to collaborate on new songs? Yeah.
Yep.
Again, BandLab really helped out with that because it's an easy way for us to put parts together, and we don't have to compress a session and upload it somewhere and then have someone download it and import it, and it's just a mess. So BandLab actually works really well with that. We have been working on a couple of things. So
yeah, we have a song, in fact, that's inspired by a story that we'll tell one of these weeks here real soon, that we're working on right now, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's something Ed wrote, and then I jumped in lyrically on, and we're having a lot of fun recording it. It feels like a musical number to me, which always makes me excited.
Yeah. And then Alice also asks, do you see yourselves streaming on other apps such as BandLab?
Funny
we tried doing
ask.
it today. We really tried, and it did not cooperate with us.
No. So we're going to try again. We're going to try and we thought for sure it would just be an easy thing. Up, boom, done. But when we went to do it, it just wasn't cooperating. So we're going to troubleshoot that. And
try it on Thursday, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I can do Thursday this week.
Oh, it's fine. We'll try it whenever the next time we're doing it. We'll try it.
Yep.
So, it really just didn't work for whatever reason. So, we'll troubleshoot it and figure it out in the end.
So Emma wants to know, do you ever feel you have to sacrifice creative instincts for the sake of commodification, thinking, time, energy, attention?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because that goes both ways. Like, if a good example of actually sacrificing time was when we were doing the Songbird sessions. There we put an actual constraint on the amount of time that we had to write the song. And I've had to do this before, and I did it on my own as an exercise for a little while. And it's a good exercise because it forces your brain to be like, okay, you sort of see the song as a problem that you need to solve, which may not seem very artistic or creative, but in fact, it's extremely creative. And what comes out of it may be great, it may be terrible, but sometimes putting constraints on what you're doing will actually encourage more creativity. If you had unlimited time, unlimited money, unlimited focus, then that's great. You can probably get something done, but there's a chance that you might be complacent. So sometimes putting constraints on your resources can help.
I agree. And actually, I think it forces you to be more creative.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, I've always been really great at overcoming limitations that other people put on me and myself. So, I think I have like I'll show you kind of attitude about it. I mean, even this morning, like Brad and I were on a hike this morning, and we always laugh. I mean, this isn't creative, but it just kind of reminded me of this, because we always laugh at ourselves when we're on hikes, because we're really fast hikers, and we almost like 98% of the time we end up just passing everybody on the trail. And and when we don't, it becomes a competition, and it's like an unspoken thing, or sometimes it's spoken. Like today this we kind of stopped, and this couple they were chatting with us for a little while, and so this other couple was able to pass us, and we stopped chatting with the couple, and we were like, oh man, now they're ahead of us. And so we looked at each other and we're like, let's do it. We're gonna pass them, and we just like a fire lit under us. I mean, we took off, and which was great because we both had an amazing workout, which is what I got out of it at the end. But that was ridiculous. We did pass them. Don't worry. But for a little while, we're like, oh my God, are they going to get it? We're not going to be able to do it. And then we just didn't give up. And I feel like I have that in me with whatever I do. Like when I was in choir in high school, I remember my choir teacher putting limitations on me, like, oh, Ashley, you're not going to get that. And I'm like, watch me. Or, whenever someone tells me that, I just like to try and beat what they're saying, or even within myself, like, well, there's a pandemic, so you guys can't play music. Oh yeah.
Right.
So no, I don't think our music is I don't think we have to sacrifice any of it, because it just becomes different. If anything, I think I've become a better musician during this time because I can't see Ed when we play together. I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. I have to 100% rely on my ears, and I'm a very visual person, so that's been a wonderful exercise for me and has taught me to listen to music in a different way, both as a performer and a listener. So yeah, I kind of take the confines and I run with them.
Yeah, that's the best part, is that you can kind of do that. You take what you're given and you make something out of it. So you don't have to. I mean, we often think that, okay, having unlimited money would be great, having unlimited whatever would be great, but at the same time, having limited things makes you, I think, creative in a completely different way than you would be if you had unlimited resources. So,
yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah. Well,
all right.
I think
if
I missed anything, let us know. If you guys have any other questions, if we missed your question, we'll answer it next week. But
send us a message, or either individually or on our Facebook page if you've got a question, and we can try and get to it next week.
Or a comment. If you guys want to tell us how, this is obviously a brand new show for us. It's going to change a little bit, like we said, as we go along. But if you have any suggestions or comments or concerns or anything, feel free to reach out to us. We're really hoping to see this show flourish and are excited to have you guys on board from the very beginning. So I just want to say thank you for tuning in to show number 1. Ed, where was my harmony?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get there in the end.
One of these episodes, I'm going to do that, and he's going to start singing with me. It's going to make me very happy. Love you guys. Thanks all for tuning in. We'll leave you with this song, and we'll see you 1 o'clock Sunday. Our musical guest is Auburn.
Woohoo!
Sunday at 1 Pacific.
1, 2, 3. Seasons change, and so have I, and so have you. I wonder why the hand of fate deigns to act upon the meek. A proven fact that it takes for courage to love like that. Yeah, it takes for courage to love like that. Spin the wheel, twist the dial, cozy up for a little while. The crying game is fun to watch, while the hand of fate does the swap through the memories and the lines and the color-coded smiles that keep us guessing day after day. What a blissful, stunning dream that cuts right through the gleam within your eyes, where I am safe But it takes more courage to love like that. Takes more courage to love like that. Takes more courage to love while the hand of fate above moves a piece before you begin. Painted pictures, perfect signs, form the threads of a line. True conviction, steady flame, guide to silence, feel the pain. But it takes more courage to love like that. It takes more courage to love like that. Takes more courage to love while the hand of fate above moves the pieces before you begin. Takes more courage to love while the hand of fate above moves the pieces before you begin. All right, everybody.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Thanks for joining us. We'll have show notes up on the website, crimesagainstfolk.com. So you can go there and maybe, see something that we missed, that we put in later, see the pictures, full size and all that stuff. And we will have episode 2 for you with Auburn next Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific.
We have some awesome guests in the future, too. We've got Rick and Laura Hall.
Oh, man.
And we have Licity Collins.
Oh, she's great.
I know. And many more. A lot of our Far West friends we're going to get on board, too. So
Yeah.
super excited. Nicole and Scotty. They're gonna
Oh, right. Yeah, great.
And, so many fantastic musicians. If you are a musician, you've got a road story and you want it featured on our show, please feel free to send it to us or shoot us a message on how to do that, and we will we'll take a listen and see if it's good for the show, and we'd love to have you if it is. So right,
Yeah, that's good. We'll see you guys.
now it's time to say goodbye. It can't be a real song. Oh, wait, were you just doing Dream of Sleeping?
Dream of Sleeping.
Good night. Good night. That's our own song, so
Yeah.
we can rip ourselves off.